welcome to Worms and Warriors. And welcome back to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is our Confederate campaign in the 1.07 beta. It's July the 21st, 1861. We're about 2 weeks into this war, well, into the scenario that we started on the 8th of July. So, let's have a quick go over what happened in the last episode. So, I was stunned in the last episode. I was annihilated at Winchester by Irwin McDowell. We actually lost that battle, the first battle of the war, which we've had to scuttle away from the northern section of Virginia. Let's go and have a quick look at this. So you might recall that we ended the episode here after that fight at Winchester, which we lost. It was a really, really tough fight, and it's a really promising start as far as the 1.07 beta goes, which, if you don't know, is mainly working on improving the battle AI, the tactical AI, and judging by that performance, I mean, unless I did a poor performance, which I don't think I did. I've rewatched it, and I think I did okay. I mean, looking back at it, I maybe extended the line a little too far, which caused me some problems. But I mean, previously, I would still think I would have managed to pull a win out of the bag in that scenario. However, this time I didn't. We got smashed. We lost 8,500 men, 1,500 of those as prisoners. So yeah, it was tough. It was very, very tough. Very tough indeed. And I like that, actually. I'm glad that we lost that battle. Maybe I was a little bit gung-ho with it, so to say. Like, I just went into it the same way as I had done with the 1.06 battles, and that was a mistake, quite clearly. Anyway, so we lost this battle here. We'll have a quick look at the front lines view here. So, like, Northern Virginia is very much in Union hands here, and we'll have to remedy that. So what I've had to do, obviously losing 8,500 men at this stage of the early war, I mean, that's an absolute disaster for the Confederacy. We're down to 42,000 men in the field. He's got 100,000, well, almost. 42,000, that's not good. Let me assure you of that. That's not good. So the plan had been, let's quickly have a look at the policies here. The plan had been not to recruit properly. I mean, I was going to recruit a few units, like a handful, until we got Militia Act 2, which would give us 2-year contracts, but I've had to scrap that. I've actually had to recruit a lot of troops, right? So we'll have a quick look at what's going on here in terms of recruiting. I've done this off camera, so obviously I've also extricated the armies. I've pulled them back down here towards Fredericksburg, which is where we're holding for now. McDowell is still kicking around up here in this Northern Valley section near Harper's Ferry in Winchester. At least last time we've seen him, he was in that area. And actually what we spotted was McClellan and his army of occupation was kicking around near Manassas, so it could be waiting for another fight, but that would be not good. So let's have a quick look at our forces here. Okay, so the Eastern Virginia force, that was the Army of the Potomac. I don't like that it was called the Army of the Potomac. That makes me think of a Union army, a federal army. So I've just called it the Eastern Virginia force. It's still under Beauregard. He retains that command, so we'll have a quick look at these guys. I've had to change a few of the commanders out. Longstreet stays in division command. Walker is still in division command, and so is Barksdale, so that's all the same. Beauregard, actually, he didn't suffer or anything like that in terms of his stats or getting defamed. He's fine. Bonham, Ewell, and Jones, they still remain in place as division commanders, and our artillery commanders here are the same as well. Loring is there, but Edward Johnson has come in to take over from somebody who was wounded. I can't remember who that was. Barnaby, maybe? Or I think it was Barnaby. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. It was one of the commanders got wounded anyway. Early stays there as well. Early's looking pretty good. And actually Ewell is looking really good as well. So these two guys are likely to get divisions at some point soon, once we expand the army a bit. Holmes remains in place. I mean, he's not the best commander, but, you know, he's going to stay where he is for now. We're quite limited in who we've got available just now. Walton is taken over from Shanks Evans, I think, who was wounded. I think so, anyway. We've got the 1st Georgia Artillery, which was one of the... It was Fort Pulaski's garrison guns, which are moving them up to join the main force. They have 12-pound Napoleons, which are smoothbore guns, but will come in handy. I like Napoleons. They're very, very good. They'll add our arsenal of 12-pound field guns and 6-pound field guns, which are not great, especially the 6-pound field guns. I mean, in reality, the 6-pound field guns are pretty weak unless you're blasting canister at close range. So yeah, so these guys will be here in 4 days. That'll be nice to have some more guns. So that's that force right there. Let's look at the Shenandoah force. which was under Joe Johnson, who's defamed. I've kicked him out of there. Jackson has taken over. Jackson's got nice, solid stats, as you would expect from Jackson. Obviously, Stonewall Jackson, if you don't know. We've promoted Hill to division commander. This was Jackson's division. Hill had been a brigade commander. He's now a division commander. Withers and Anderson in place as brigade commanders there for the infantry. Oh, Barnett B mustn't have died. He's here. It must be someone else. I can't remember who it is. Gabriel Rains, he's taken over from someone else who's also wounded, dead or captured. Then we've set up Wade Hampton as another division commander. He's only got White's artillery in there for now, which again has come from one of the forts here, Fort Macon, down in, is it North Carolina, South Carolina? I'm not sure, one of the Carolinas, I think, anyway. So he's come from there with his 12-pound Napoleons as well, and we'll stick some infantry in there to beef out this unit, and Jeb Stewart, obviously, with his small cav unit, will stay in place. Then, let's jump straight on over here to the Trans-Mississippi area, where there's not much happening at the moment, I mean, which suits us, to be honest. So we have formed at Fort Smith the Trans-Mississippi HQ under Pemberton. There's just a couple of units in here, so actually only 2 real units. So Colquitt with guys from Mississippi, just 1,500. And Armstead with some more Mississippi artillerymen. Again, it's going to have just 3 guns. These are tiny units. We need to do the artillery reform at some point soon. And then I've moved out Fort Smith's garrison. Now, this is only 292 men. I've given them Enfield rifles. I've put them in here, and hopefully they'll grow. We'll just let them sit with the reserves until they do. And then once they become a viable unit, we'll move them up, and we'll crack on from there. So that is the Trans-Mississippi HQ. What else we got here? We've got the Western Army, which I've reshuffled a little. I've put Van Dorn in charge. Van Dorn, not very good, really, but he's a brigadier general, and historically he was in command over here, at least to some point. He didn't do an amazing job, of course, but he's there, and we've given McCulloch, I don't know how you say that name, interchange with the two, as I always say. Let's call him McCulloch. McCulloch, that's interesting, a Texas Army and militia soldier and a Texas Ranger, fought in the Texas Revolution and Mexican War, so he's an experienced soldier. He's got Nicholas Pierce with his Arkansas State Troops, Springfield musket armed. Then we've got some 24-pound howitzers, and then we've also recruited in Hood's Texas Brigade here. So that's John Bell Hood with some guys from Texas. You might notice we've got a lot of guys with mixed muskets, and that's because we've got no weapons. So we've only got less than 600 Springfield rifle muskets, 72 Enfield rifles, 800 Mississippi rifles, a handful of Plains rifles, and not even Springfield muskets available. So we've got nothing. So that's how we're rolling, and it's a problem. The Missouri State Guard under Sterling Price, we've got 2 divisions here, Rains and Hill, and nothing's really changed with those guys. They're better armed than the other force. We've got some Enfield rifle muskets, some Springfield muskets, and some Springfield rifle muskets. So that's not too bad. 6-pound guns. And these guys here as well, under William Smith, they're from a fort somewhere. They're actually from Virginia, but they're going to go fight out here in the West. Well, never mind. So they're from Fort Johnson. Not sure where that even is. But they'll come in handy anyway. And we've got Henry B. Davidson and some cav. So that's it for this region. If we have a look in this central area, Tennessee is going to be a major theatre, and well, hopefully Kentucky, but Tennessee definitely. Polk is there with his Tennessee Corps, just a tiny little force, 1,600 men. They're building us a fort at Nashville. We are moving up. These guys were the Army of Florida. They're now the Army of Tennessee. I mean, it's not really an army, but you get the picture. It's under Albert Sidney Johnston. That had been under Bragg. Bragg is now division commander. The other division is under Hardy. Only got the 1 brigade for now, but we'll be putting some more troops in there, and those troops are going to come from the Department of the West under Donaldson. Again, just recruiting a few units in here. We've got Bate. We've got Sibley. These guys have got rifles. I give them the last of the rifles available because nobody in this region had rifles at all. We've got a couple of units of guns, and Hindman with a tiny cavalry unit, 250 men. No artillery available either. So we're somewhat limited in equipment, we're limited in manpower. It's going to be a tough start. This is a really, really tough start of this campaign. And really, this is the first proper episode. So the first episode was all about the setup of the game. The second episode was pretty much just that battle at Winchester, which was a long battle. It was a tough battle. Honestly, I think I've got a bit of PTSD from it. Not really. I don't want to make light of PTSD, but it was a really hard battle, that one. And if I'm perfectly honest, I have put off putting this campaign back on because I'm a little bit worried as where we're going to go. Our readiness is shot as well. Thomas Jackson right down here in the red, same as Beauregard. Both of them are in the red very much. They're on defensive mode. So, I mean, if McDowell does come down for a scrap here, we'll probably stay in defensive mode and maybe let the AI work it out. Maybe. I'm not sure. The Virginia Reserve Corps, that was the Hampton Division. Again, it hasn't got many troops in, if I'm honest. I mean, Wooford's Carb is on the way. 44 days. Where the hell are they coming from? South Carolina. 44 days seems excessive for that, but anyway. And then finally, the Army of the Northwest. We're recruiting one brigade into there, Kershaw's brigade, and they're going to be another 22 days. And that's going to take these guys to about 3,000 men, which, you know, is not really very many. Ruggles has got command of the Virginia HQ. That had been Pemberton, but I've shifted him over to the west. And we're recruiting a few brigades into here. About 9,000 men, 12 guns. So again, guns is the problem. Shoupier, 6-pound. And Kemper with 6-pound guns as well. Uji with an infantry brigade. They're 21 days away, but 1 day away for Iverson's brigade. We've got Bryan coming in 19 days and Cheatham in 32. It's taken a long time to recruit these guys. Okay, so with that said, let's have one quick look at the Navy and then we'll get going. So our Navy is very, very small. The James River Squadron, 4 ships. I mean, one of which is the ship's tender gunboat, which, I mean, you know, they're tiny little ships. The New Orleans Squadron, which is, I mean, that's our only real half-decent fleet. I mean, and that's not good. Charleston Squadron, to call this a squadron's a joke. It's 1 2-gun ship's tender gunboat. The Mobile Squadron, again, 2 schooners. I mean, what are you going to do with that? Nothing. Savannah Squadron, at least got 5 ships. The Texas Maritime Department, I pulled them into the mouth of the Mississippi because they'll just get wrecked if they stay in Texas. Not much here either. And then the North Carolina Squadron, which is tiny. So let's have a look at what we're recruiting here. We've got a handful of ships available, which we'll dole out as time goes by. I mean, I don't feel we need them just yet. The CSS Virginia, now this should come in very, very handy. It's a casemate ironclad ram, very large, 10 guns, and a very, very powerful ship indeed. So, along with that, I've queued up a few of these little ship's tender gunboats, and we're going to send them out. But I'm starting to make a bit of a fighting fleet here. So we've got a couple of sloops of war queued up, along with a couple of double-enders, and they're going to form the basis of our fleet that's going to try and disrupt the Union blockade. Whether we can do it or not, I'm not sure. I don't want to spend too much money just yet on the fleet, because I just don't. Projects, we've got nothing available just yet. The plan for projects will be to open probably legacy rifles when we can, and then cast artillery, I think I'm going to go with. And from there, we'll start working on extra recruits. I'm going to press play now at last. I've talked a lot. I hope you're not too bored of my blabbering. For anyone who's interested, Brambra, who's a big friend of the channel, and he has similar sort of content to ours, mine. He plays a different style to me. He talks even more than I do, believe it or not, but it's very, very entertaining. And I've just spotted the Army of New Jersey, just small. He's very entertaining, and he has just started a 1.07 campaign for the Union. So if you're wanting to follow along with that, check his channel out, go and have a look. A comment I mentioned that in 1.07 we're going to see amphibious landings by the Union as well, so seaborne invasions along the coast. I hope so. I mean, it'll be tough, obviously, if that does happen. And I will form a bit of a reserve army. I'll probably stick one down near Charleston and maybe one on the south coast, just in case that does happen, which, you know, it might well. So our credit rating's good, AAA. I don't think we need to build anything just yet. Let's see. We've got nothing really, no subsidies available. Federal buildings, nothing's demanded yet. Market, maybe. A prison camp. I wonder if maybe we should build a prison camp. It'd be nice to be able to hold some prisoners. Unless we start with one. Is there some way to find out? Let's just have a look. Don't think there's an option for finding prisons. Oh, there is. Excellent. Okay, so let's knock these off. Prison camps. Yeah, we've got none. Oh, no, we have. We've got Camp Chase. That's not ours. Columbus, Ohio. All right, so it shows you all of them. Right. I was going to say. It'd be a bit of a bug if that was ours. Yeah, so we haven't got one. So should we build one? I'm not sure. Is it worth building one? Otherwise, you just parole the prisoners. But then, is that worth spending $4 million? I'm just not sure. Foundries are required, but I mean, we're going to wait for subsidies to build up before we build any of these things. Factories as well. Factories are really important for the South. We haven't really got any. Well, not a lot anyway. Brickworks, we've got one. One brickworks. Foundries, what have we got? 3. So we've got Catherine Furnace at Richmond, Virginia. We've got Jones, McElwain and Co. at Memphis. And then the Cumberland Furnace at Nashville. So it's not much to be going with. Ironworks. We've got a handful. That's good at least. Hospitals. I'm building one at Alexandria. We've also got one at Richmond, so that should cover us nicely for Virginia, where there's going to be a lot of fighting. Farms. We've got a substantial number of farms. I think we'll probably need some more at some point. We do only have the one bank in New Orleans. Lumber mills. Just a handful. Again, we're going to have to work on that. I mean, but markets. We've got one at Charleston, one in New Orleans. Well, that's nothing. That's not very exciting news, to be honest. There's not much here to be going with. Plantations. Now, we should have a lot of plantations. And yeah, we should do. So obviously the southern economy is based on plantation-based labour, shall we say. Mines. We've got a handful of mines. The gold mines even. I don't know if that makes... Well, I don't really know what that means. Do we get more money for having gold mines? Possibly. We've got a couple of them. Iron mines at Knoxville. Ports. Obviously, we've got a lot of ports. Saltworks. A handful. One news agency at Richmond. News agency help with the gathering of intelligence. Military academies. What we got? The Virginia Military Institute and the Citadel at Charleston. The other supply depots as well. Now, I wonder, do we need one at Montgomery? Do we need one at Galveston, Texas? I don't think we do. Certainly not at the moment. In Atlanta, I mean, do we need one there? Is that a waste of money? Is that a waste of keeping the supplies in there? Or is it handy to have one here, ready in case we ever need to retreat down to there? I'm fairly sure we don't need one at Galveston. I'm gonna abandon the depot at Galveston. Let's keep the one. We'll keep the one at Atlanta and we'll keep the one at Montgomery for now. If it seems like it's a waste of time, I'll get rid of them. If you know it's a waste of time, drop me a line in the comments. Let me know. Anyway, I've gone back to blabbering. I've been sidetracked again. I'm going to press play here. We're going to get started and we're going to fight. Well, we're probably not going to fight, but we're going to play. Iverson's here now, so I'm going to transfer him in. He's going to go into Hampton's division. Oh, and he's already equipped with Springfield muskets, so I must have gave them out. Hughes is as well. Cheatham's not, and Bryan's not. Okay. So that's going to take Jackson to 9,500 men, which is a little better than 7,900. Not much, but a little. Let's speed it up a bit. So once Albert Sidney Johnston gets up here at Nashville, we'll let him rest a little, and then I'm going to push him straight up here. Now I want to hopefully see if we can at least draw some troops away from the Eastern Theatre. Because if we go up there and we take Louisville or we take Covington, you know, that's going to give them some problems. And it's certainly going to give them something to think about. We're not going on the offensive yet here in the West. 18,000 men going to be in that Army of the West, which is crazy. Van Dorn's going to be sitting on 7,285 and then 5,500 under Price, which, I mean, it's not much of an army, I'm sure you'll agree. Not when you're faced with 18,000 men. But we'll make do. We'll see how this goes. We want these guys to start recovering here. The readiness is coming up a little. I mean a little. We're already getting medical treatment from, I guess it must be the hospital at Richmond. So this should give us really quite nice coverage here, and it's going to cover a bit further up into Virginia as well, with the second hospital being built. We'll probably end up building one at Nashville as well, I think. We've got 9.7 days to go until Middle Shark 2, in which we should get some more recruits then. And obviously 2-year contracts. I'm just keeping an eye on things. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I mean, I'd be happy not to fight a battle in this episode. We need to recover from that defeat. If you watch my previous campaigns, you know I'm a little cautious. You know, keep things... I try to keep on the back foot kind of thing while I have to. And then I will... Obviously, we will be offensive when we can be. But there's no way I can be offensive in the Eastern Theatre just now. We just need to keep an eye on things. We need to keep a real close eye on things. I mean, Beauregard's readiness is coming up, but he's still carrying on 2.5, just over 2,000 wounded. Here comes McClellan. I thought I'd spotted him around earlier. He's coming down. 15,000 men. I mean, we can take him. We can definitely take him on. But I feel if it goes into one of those defensive sieges, we might be okay leaving the AI to do this. Maybe, anyway. I'm not sure. It could be a mistake. I quite often make mistakes in this game, of course. And I'm happy to admit that. Let's just pause a second. Got anyone? Nobody else is ready. I was wondering if there was anyone else ready to go. What we got here? Kemper's battery, 3 days away. Hughie, 15 days. 26 days. 13 days. Hayes with some cav. 24 days. And shoot with some more guns. 14 days, so it's not... Nobody's coming anytime soon. Alright then, so... Johnson is here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to... Let's move him straight up to Louisville, Kentucky. We still need a garrison in these places as well. Fort Pillow, I'd like to have a garrison in. Fort Hyman, maybe. But Fort Henry and Donaldson definitely need a garrison. Oh, we've got 1,500 men available here. Let's see who's come. Bate. Okay, let's get him transferred out into that. Where are we at here? The Army of Tennessee, that's right. Let's get him moved across. He can join Hardy's division. So it's going to be Albert Sidney Johnson pushing up there with just over 5,000 men. Oh, and there we are. Yeah, and we've got real problems. 4,700 men with poor morale. And 1,700 men with poor morale. Okay, so this is... Yep, I am definitely worried about fighting this fight. Does that say we've got 91 guns? Let me assure you, we have not got 91 guns. Have we? We can't even look at them now. There's no way we've got 91 guns. How can we have? Okay, so we're low on morale. We're fighting a tough battle. Beauregard is in charge here. We've got to win this fight. We've got to win this fight. There's no question about it. We have got to win this fight. Even with our poor morale. I mean, we need to be on the defensive here. And it's got to be... We've got to win. We need to win this fight. There's nothing else for it. So Major General McClellan with about 15,000 men. 25,000 for us, but of those, like, what, 7,000 or with poor morale? So are they going to even be in any state to fight? I'm not holding my breath on that. Okay, so it's not the best news. It's a meeting engagement. I was hoping for a defensive situation. And we're not starting with everyone on the field either, which we should be. We're starting with Jackson on the field only. Oh my god, this is just... It's going to be a nightmare. Magruder, 1 hour. Well, at least they're coming soon. Both of them are 1 hour away, okay. Where are they coming from? Spotsylvania and Hampstead. Let's come out of the HQ view. Not there. Hampstead's here, okay, so where the hell's Spotsylvania? Yep, over there. That's an absolute joke, like. So I feel like we've been shafted here again, just for a change. Okay. It's a meeting engagement. We're not going to meet them at all. Who we got here? Flashing. So we've got Rains. Very stable. Let's have a look. 48%. Fighting Spirit, 99. I think they'll recover. Anderson. Again, Fighting Spirit's high. I think they'll be okay. It's Iverson's first battle. The rest of these guys obviously don't have that first battle problem. All right. The Union are obviously they're going to grab this objective before we get there, I would think. Because, quite frankly, I'm not going towards the objective to start with. We're going to stay here. We're going to wait for our guys to arrive. Beauregard's going to have to march for miles to join up with Jackson. So maybe we'll actually send Beauregard this way. And we'll attack from two ways. Because he's going to probably, I would think he's going to occupy the point before us. And even if we did, I don't want to fight him with just 9,700 men. I know it's even-ish numbers, but I cannot afford to lose this battle. If we lose this battle, then that's pretty much it over, I think. The war, I mean. Okay, I'm going to press play here. So we want to redeploy slightly on this open ground. Okay, so our reinforcements have arrived. Magruder has arrived here. I mean, not that there's much in the way of reinforcements, but every single man here is going to help. They're going to go straight along here. And Beauregard, let's have a look at these guys. I mean, I wonder how shattered these dudes are going to be in terms of morale. Hopefully they'll be okay. Flashing. Well, they do say stable. I think we'll be okay once they get settled into this. Question is, what are we going to do here? I think we're going to move into Fredericksburg itself. Maybe here. Cemetery Hill. Jackson and Magruder together, they're going to have just over 10,000 men. So I feel maybe we can do a two-pronged attack here. Beauregard's guys almost all in the field here. There they are, everyone's here. No, it's stupid to go there because we'd have to come across Beck's Island, which all over these two bridges, which is just not going to be good. Let's rethink this. Let's go this way. Let Magruder get in place. Bringing Jackson up this way, onto these heights. And we're going to cross the Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad. They've taken the objective. So now we need to attack the enemy. Yeah, so Bonham and them, those guys, they've sorted themselves out. They're morale 50, I mean, which is obviously not amazing. But I think that might be enough to hopefully not have them shatter and run immediately. We're not in a rush. I'm not rushing this at all. Right, so Reigns is back. He's at 98% morale. That's obviously fantastic. 100% for Jeb Stewart's guys. Okay. I think we're okay here, morale-wise. Beauregard's men are really strung out here. We're already at almost midday. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cross. Well, Bonham's still only on 50%, so yeah. Cut off from commander. So he's losing 10% because he's raised ahead, actually, so it should be okay, actually. Let's have a look at Ewell. 50 as well. Unit above start morale, minus 14%. Alright. If you say so. We're going to cross this stream. Let's see if we can get a view of the enemy and at Falmouth. There they are. He's repositioning. Get Longstreet's division straight over there. Walker's division is going to cross the dam. That way we shouldn't be blocking up the bridge. Skirmishers out. Let's hope we can catch these guys in a proper pincer movement here. That would be amazing. Problem is, what kind of state are these guys going to be in by the time they've marched all that way? We'll find out. Okay, let's look what's going on behind us. Okay, Longstreet's crossed the river here at least. No, no, no. Absolutely not. So basically we just want to anchor these guys here. We want to keep them stuck here until our rear attack comes into place. These skirmishers are starting to cause some damage to the artillery battalion, which is nice. Right, so we're on the march here. Loring's crossing the dam as well. Excellent. I hope we can do this. No guns idle. Can't fire at anything. Yeah, we're definitely starting to sting that artillery unit. 20 casualties now down to 10 guns. I think they had 15 to start. Not much effect on these skirmishers, unfortunately. Walker's division is across the river here, pretty much. They're going to have some rough terrain to cross, but I mean, hopefully this will pay off. Again, a bit disappointing. The skirmishers won't move. I want them to advance and hit that flank more. Okay, Walker's over. The guys are struggling though in this tough terrain. So maybe the better attack's going to come from Longstreet's division, which are going to have this road to travel along. I'm going to smash in right here. Skirmishers are running. Okay. Manson, is that? Don't recognize the name. Alright, and so these guys are now getting their cohesion back. They're kind of resting up a little bit. I mean, God knows, I don't think the guns will be involved very much in this fight, if I'm honest. We are flashing away here. Obviously, the morale issue is an issue. his units seem kind of unbreakable at the minute. Like, our skirmishers flee when they've lost 30 men. He's lost 40 already. They're not bothered. Surely we can get a shot at those guns. How not? We're up on a hill. Clear line of sight. Can't fire. Howitzers. Clear line of sight of here. Can't fire. Won't fire. I don't know. £6 field guns right here in these trees. Can't get a shot. How not? Okay, so Longstreets, boys. I think we're ready to push these guys in. Walker's division. Let's get in there, boys. Come on. So once we engage there, that's when we're going to push forward with our guys from the front. I'm going to make a little move here. So he's holding a nice solid line here at this creek. I don't think he knows that our guys are behind him. Don't really understand how he only caused 5 casualties to those skirmishes, 10 now, but we've suffered 27. Come on. Get it sorted out. So Walker's on the march, Barksdale is on the march, and so is Longstreet. These skirmishers are not even broken. Come on. Canister in the face from 2 batteries and a full infantry brigade shooting into them, and they're still just fine. They're finally broken, honestly. Come on, boys, let's get a move on here. This artillery battalion is still in the field with 80 casualties. But our guys are almost routed here. Very frustrating. I'm going to launch an attack here. We're going to attack. Okay. How can the artillery be leading? Come on. So another badly coordinated attack here. If you've watched my previous series, you'll know that this is a thing that happens often. Come on, we're going on here. Get attacked from the front and rear. Get into this fight. Come on, press, boys, press. Let's get this done. Yes. Law's broken. Never mind. Come on, let's keep the pressure going here. Come on, boys. Well, I think it went okay. It was a tough one. It was hard to coordinate, but I think we did okay, yeah. I mean, realistically, these guys got nowhere to retreat to, so I don't see how they're retreating, but at least it was a victory. I think it was okay. Let me know what you thought of this battle. I thought it was executed alright. I had my doubts for a moment. A little clumsy, I guess, but these large-scale attacks are not that easy to do, if I'm being perfectly honest here. But I feel like they did okay. Not wanting to blow me on trumpet or anything, but I think it went okay. I mean, and really, like I say, these guys would be surrendering. Not that we've got any prison camps, but, you know, they would be. Nice. That was well done, I think. It was alright done anyway, so they're fleeing for their lives. A couple of their brigades intact, which, you know, sucks a bit, but we did okay. We did quite well. Especially since it was a must-win. It was a little nervous, if I'm honest, but it was a must-win situation, and we did it. Yeah, someone surrendered. First Cavalry whipped 2,000 prisoners, but we've got no camp, so we've got nowhere to put them. So, you know, it doesn't really matter, but at least there's 2,000 more to their casualties. And that actually results as a major Confederate victory with that capture in the end there. So, almost 2,000 casualties for us, almost 5,000 for him. I'm quite content with that. Went okay. Now we just need McDowell to stay away for a little bit so we can get some reinforcements in. Colonel Law's fallen into disgrace. Bit harsh. They didn't lose any 400 men out of that 1,200 man brigade, but, you know, that's how it works sometimes. We'll have to replace Evander Law with someone else. Let's have a quick read what we've got to say in here. The Battle of Fredericksburg has ended with the Army of Occupation retreating in panic. My commanders earned as a total victory, with the enemy running for their lives. The enemy's reportedly suffered 4,942 casualties, 432 killed, 2,150 captured, the rest wounded. We lost about 1,600 men, 372 killed, 243 missing. We are eager and the supply situation is mediocre. Captured 17 guns and 3,612 rifles. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Did we get anything decent? Let's have a look at our weapons, because we didn't have very many. No howitzers. No Enfield rifles. A handful of Springfields. Handful of Napoleons. Now that's not bad. And a little handful of Springfield muskets. Excellent. What a nice haul. Not. So that was a pretty bad haul of weapons captured, but, you know, it's better than nothing. And they're better in our hands, no matter what they are, compared to being in Union hands. Right. So that was pretty good. We managed to gain a victory. It was a tough fight. I feel like I did a decent maneuver there. Like I said, I don't want to blow my own trumpet or anything, but I'm quite proud of that kind of thing. It's a hard move to pull off and time correctly in this game. And I think it went quite well. So they're going to pull back, which means it gives us scope to pull forward and retake the Manassas depot, maybe. Either way, so we've got the Virginia Reserve Corps here under Magruder. They're building us a fort. Let's also build a depot back here. Do we need one? No, but I don't think we need one, actually. We've got one at Richmond, and if we recapture this one at Manassas, that should do. Did we have any of these guys armed with mixed muskets still? I think all these guys got Springfields. Or better. Longstreet looking solid. Again, you would expect Longstreet to look good. Good commander. Barksdale's looking good as well, actually. Coming right up. So he's only Colonel Barksdale. What happens if we promote him? Is he going to lose some of these? Let's try. Yeah. Still fine. AP Hill looking awesome as well. McCown, not bad. Hampton, solid. Jackson, good. Okay. So, let's leave the episode right there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed that battle. It was a tough battle at Fredericksburg there. And in the next episode, we're probably going to push back up here and see if we can retake Manassas and get a bit of a foothold in northern Virginia. Obviously, that's where we want to be. We don't want to be south of the river here. Is that the Rappahannock River? I'm never sure on the rivers here. But anyway, we don't want to be south of that river, whatever the hell that river that is. We want to be north of Fredericksburg, really. We want to have Culpeper Courthouse and the Manassas Depot and Manassas Junction under our control. And we want to push back into the valley as well. So to do that, we're going to need some more troops. And we're going to do that as soon as we get this Militia Act 2 on the go. Following Militia Act 2, I think what we're going to do is we'll work on Military 2 and then go to conscription. Maybe. Let's see what the money does anyway. Or maybe we go on industrialization, which is quite important. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you're going to come back and check out some more. Leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you thought of it. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. And ta-ra for now.